Okay, this is Patty Gardner with Longevity, and you are on our 2015 TAC Dream Vacation Participation Call. This call is being recorded. It is on both just audio, or you can log into the GoToMeeting webinar where you'll be able to see some slides and some text and pictures and things like that. But more than that, you can ask questions on there. So if I don't cover something throughout the webinar, you're welcome to ask questions, and then I will address them to everyone. Again, this call is being recorded. If you have one of your team members that hasn't been able to join us, we'll get these posted on the Longevity Facebook page. I actually don't think I have a slide for that. You know, we're in heavy communication right now, and we are making every attempt possible to communicate with everyone. You know, an email is great. Sometimes it bounces back, especially when we send out large amounts of email. So please make sure you go into your email settings and make sure that you have liked pgardner at Longevity.com or hdolder, D-O-L-D-E-R, at Longevity.com, and you'll see a slide on that earlier. So if you have not heard from us or you have any questions, you can ask us there. But the best place to ask questions is on the Longevity TAC Dream Vacation Facebook page. It's a community of everybody who's earned it is on there. There's several leaders who have been on other previous trips. So if I can't get to you, you can ask the question there. If it's something private about your points and things and how you've earned, then you would probably want to email that in. So let's go ahead and get started. Congratulations, you are one of our Longevity 2015 Top Achiever Club members, and that means that you've been invited to participate on our Dream Vacation. And we are pretty excited about that. Now, you have one of 4 statuses at this point. You are either paid in full, and you are either completely registered or you still need to register. And I know there's been a lot of forms that go out. There's a request form, and then there's a payment form. And now once you're paid in full or have a deposit down, you've reserved a cabin and have a deposit down, you still need to register. And I'm going to talk about that and how you can get to that registration form. What that registration form is it's the legal name, the date of birth, all different kinds of information the cruise needs for us to actually assign a cabin. We have not made our first assignments just because it's been difficult getting those to register and getting a group. We don't send them over to the cruise line one at a time. We have to send them over in groups. So we haven't been able to get enough that are fully registered to be able to send that over. So we will be doing that as of Friday. We'll cut that off. We'll do everybody who's registered at that point. We'll send them over. We'll get you your cabin numbers and your booking numbers. You can go on and start playing. And then we'll set another deadline for those that register after that. So if you don't make it by Friday, it doesn't mean you're not going to get your cabin assignment. It just means you'll be in one of the future batches. You could also have requested a cabin, but we haven't heard from you that you actually want what you requested, and there's no deposit made. So we still have a large group of distributors who have made requests and have no deposit. At this point, you are still free to make changes. We've had many that say, when I filled this form out a couple months ago, I thought I was going to bring my husband or bring my spouse, and now I'm just going to come by myself, or we'd really like to go from an inside cabin to a balcony. You can still make those requests. But there's no deposit made, so we actually don't have a cabin held for you at this time. It's just a request at that time. So we really need you to fill that out because the deadline for registration and making a deposit is Friday, October 31st, and we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail. We also have a status of not responded. We need to hear from you. We've made every attempt. We are starting to make some phone calls. The list is too long. I actually have 400 that have not responded yet, and so we've tried the emails, we've tried the Facebook. If you know somebody on your team that has earned an invitation, just reach out to them, and it's always fun to come as groups. Make sure that they've all responded and they've heard back from us. We've had some say, I haven't been able to, I've sent an email out and I haven't been able to get a response. Here are your emails. hdolder at Longevity.com, pgardner at Longevity.com, as well as the TAC Longevity Facebook page. We can respond to that as well. So those are the 4 different statuses. You are in one of those statuses and you want to move to the top. Paid in full, that means you are ready to go. And again, we'll talk about payments and such later. All right, let's go over the cruise just a little bit. Still getting a lot of questions. Okay, where are we going? Where is this cruise? It is a 5-day Western Caribbean cruise on Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Love Royal Caribbean. It's that intermediate, luxury with fun and adventure. We've got flow riders, and we've got a sports court and a rock wall, an ice skating rink, and a solarium for that private, just relaxing area that you want to just be outside. You've got entertainment, card rooms. You've got everything on this class of ship. It's amazing. It's a very large ship. When you look at Royal Caribbean, they categorize their ships in different sizes, and it was actually the 2nd tier under Oasis. Now, of course, they've added Quantum, and so it is now the 3rd class. They keep getting bigger and bigger. It's amazing. The ship sails January 17th. That is a Saturday, and it returns on the 22nd. Let's take a look at that itinerary. So 17th, you're in Fort Lauderdale. It says departs at 4:30 is what you can see on your screen right now. You need to be on board by 2 o'clock. It actually departs at 4:30. So you've got to get through the documentation line, through immigrations, and then, of course, you want to be on the ship. And we have a welcome party scheduled at 2 o'clock. We would push that back as long as we could, as far as we could, but they won't allow us to because of muster drills and things that are going on. A question I'll go ahead and address now is I've seen the question, can I, carry my bags on the ship? Yes, but you're stuck with them until you can get into your stateroom, and you can't always get into your stateroom right away. So while you want to have some things that you don't want to wait for, because when you get to the port, you check your bags. Maybe you get to the port about 10 o'clock, 11. Most of the time you can get on the ship between 11 and 12 is when you can start getting on. You'll check your bags, and you don't actually know when you get them back. It may be before dinner, and it may not. So anything, medication, stuff like that you want to have, you don't want sent to your cabin, you'll want to carry that on. But for the most part, you want to have fun. Once you get on the ship, everything is open, or most everything is open. It's lively. The food buffet is open. The pool's open. So many people will bring their suits, go right out to the pool, and hang out. So lots going on that 17th, but we do have a welcome party. It's a place to find out who else is going and to really orient yourself, and for us to just give you that first congratulations and a bit of information about the cruise. The 2nd day, Sunday, we are cruising all day, so Longevity has the meeting room scheduled. That will be, again, our opening event. Really an opportunity for us to I'll call it a meeting, but it's a really fun, informative meeting, and it probably won't be that whole 3-hour block, but we do have it scheduled that time. We also have the sports court scheduled during that time, I think 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, so there might be a game of dodgeball or something going on there. And forgot to mention on that Saturday, we've also got private activities in the evening. Looks like Monday we are in Belize City. We will have a group excursions. Now the cruise line offers plenty of excursions. You can go on and look at them now, or I would just suggest waiting until you get your booking number, because once you get your booking number, you'll be able to go in and customize your experience. You are so welcome to purchase any of the experiences, any of the excursions through the cruise line. We like to have one that is just exclusive to Longevity, and it's optional. There's an extra cost to it, which we'll talk about in just a minute, but it is optional. This one is fun. It's by a company called Butts Up, and they offer cave tubing, zip lining, ATVing through the jungle, or any combination of that. And that includes the transportation, which is all in the same location, so we'll all ride out on the same buses. Everybody goes off to which activities they want. They give you a very authentic chicken tamale at the end. You can, it is authentic. And anyway, great group to work with. They're fun. The guides are fun. It's safe and great price. So that's the difference. Is when we do a group excursion, we actually get a better rate than the cruise line. Question coming in, can we do other things? Absolutely. I just don't go outside for vendors on that. We just do one group excursion. It's all we can really manage. So you'll have an opportunity to register for that, so no worries. You'll get more information about it. Just wanted to let you know there's been a lot of questions about excursions. Cozumel, love Cozumel. I have a favorite place there. It's called Paradise Beach. And the reason I love that is there's plenty of time to do shopping right at the pier. Grab a taxi or, you know, whatever. They have taxis, they have buses. I don't know if we'll do a private bus down there or not. But down to Paradise Beach, there's a great restaurant there. There's a lounge chair, a beautiful beach, white sandy beaches. They offer snorkeling, massages, parasailing, riding on the water wheelies, which is a lot of fun. You know, so it's pretty much everything kind of wrapped into one. And so it's just a fun day. You know, we all kind of hang out on the beach. We group our lounge chairs. We get a big group there. So that's fun. Now, I've had a lot of questions about snorkeling and scuba diving. Both locations, Belize is great. They've got that big, round, deep blue hole there that you can snorkel at. Our scuba dive at, and Cozumel also offers beautiful locations. Again, that would be something you would arrange on your own. We don't arrange that. But through that Facebook page, that is a great place for you to say, hey, I want to go scuba diving in Belize. Who wants to join me? And then you can go as a group, because it's always funner to be together as a group. So we've got 2 back-to-back sea days, or port days, and then we cruise again. We have that meeting room held. No, we're not going to have another meeting. However, I know Doc Wallach wants a little bit of time there for anyone who wants to visit him. We've got a game show. We've got a farewell party that evening. And then we have to go home on the 22nd. It's all over by then, and you will have had so much fun. You will be excited for the next one. So let's get into some details on this. So you know what, I'm going to cover this just real quick. The majority of the people on this call are already registered in those first 3 statuses. This is real quick because we've covered it again. We've covered it several times, but those who have not decided whether they're going or not, I just want to breeze through the next 4 categories. You can go to the Longevity, Distributor Resources, Leadership Board, and then TAC, and you'll be able to find the leaderboard and how many points you have. Identify how many points you have, download the flyer. You can get that either on the Facebook page under, there's attachments there, flyers there, or you can get it from the Resource Center as well. Identify how many points you have. If you have 4,500 points and you're traveling alone, it's going to cost you $200. If you want to bring a guest, it's going to cost you $1,100. It's that simple. You just need to identify how many points do you have, how many people do you want to bring, and then decide if you want to upgrade. You can, you know what, I don't have the promenade on here, but there is, these points are for inside cabins. The promenade, so you know what that is an inside cabin with a bay window that looks out into the center of the ship. Great view, adds a little extra space, opens up your room, still quiet, still dark, and you can open up and have a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of distributors. We actually have a lot of promenade rooms, and it's fun because everyone else can see you too. So, you know, I've seen some pretty fun things hung in the windows of the promenade cabins. Balconies, you can upgrade, and I even believe we have some junior suites that are now available from people who have backed out of that. So again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Additional guests, you can bring additional guests at this point if cabins are available, and I do know that the inside cabins that accommodate more than 2 people are full, and we can't get any more. But you can get balconies. So if you're interested in a balcony or even a family suite that holds 5 or 6, then we do have, I believe, 1 of those left. So that's nice. You can also opt to have 2 cabins. We'll do our very best to get you side by side, maybe even connected with a door that goes between, or you can open up the balcony door. But again, no guarantees, because we have had others that have requested those cabins quite a while ago. So, but we do have some left that are close, so you can request those. Again, there's additional fees. Depends how you want to what your points are and what the costs are. That's all on the flyer. And again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail there because we've already done this before, and there's the minority in that situation. So how do I request my cabin? Hopefully, again, this is just for that minority. Please, you've either been emailed by H. Dolder at Youngevity. You can go to the TAC Dream Vacation Facebook page. It is the pinned post at the very top, only for a short time. After Friday, it comes down, and now we're getting the registration material up. Or you can type that into your, I don't think I posted the takeout number 3. I didn't post the link on this one. You can go to those 2 locations, or if you can't find it, email. I gave you the email for P. Gardner or Hillary Dolder right there, and that we will get it to you. Okay? I'm going to check the questions just real quick. Okay, let's see about them and so on. Okay, looks like these are private questions or ones that I will be addressing as we go further, so hang tight. Okay, so now you need to make your payment. You've registered. You've gotten an email from Hillary that says you have requested 2 people in the cabin, an inside or an outside, and you have this many points, so your total cost is this. So we need to get a payment made. If you have not made a payment, we need to have that made by Friday. And you can do that 2 different ways. You can do it in your back office, or you can call customer service. The item code, as you can see on the screen, these are all in your product categories. You can even go to your quick add. When you go into your, I actually think I have it open on my screen, and I'll show you in just a second. The item code is TAC 2014 pay, all capital letters. The quantity equals the amount you want to pay. So the value is $1. So if you owe $500, you're going to enter 500 quantity, and it'll charge you $500. So here's your payment schedule. October 31st, we must have a minimum of $100 per person down. That is for an inside cabin. If you have requested a balcony or a suite, then you have to have a minimum of $500 to guarantee that upgrade, because there are people who are requesting those that we can't get to. So a minimum of $100 per person down. The balance due is November 15th. We would love you to get that balance due paid off as quickly as possible so that we can get you all the information. We can't do that until it is paid in full. I'm going to end the show real quick because this has been an obstacle, and give you a view of that. So here's your business center. You're going to go to new order. And I'm not sure actually how fast, I had to log in. Okay, we're actually not going to waste the time in doing that. Hopefully you've all been to you've all been to the business center before. You click on new order, and you there's a quick add down to the right side. If you type in TAC 2015, then it's going to ask you the quantity. Again, you're going to just enter the quantity and make the payment. That's it. So now also remember, if you choose to make only that $100 payment, then you need to remember, we will send a reminder, but you need to remember to make that balance payment by the 15th. Okay, now you're paid, right? Or you have your deposit down. Now we need you to register for the event. Hillary, who is, I believe, on the phone as well, is going to get this link posted on that TAC Youngevity Facebook page. So while we're talking, because I forgot to do that before the call, you can copy this down, take a screenshot if you want, and then type it in and go there. It's also been emailed out to those that have actually paid in full. Some of the payments are just coming in. So, it's not like once you make a payment, we identify that and then we send it out real quickly, right? So we try to do them in groups. So if you haven't gotten it, you say, hey, I've already paid, you're probably in that next group. But again, you can copy this down. What this is going to do is going to give us, you have to register by guest. So the first guest is the person using the points. It's the distributor. And we need your legal name, your last name, then your first name. We need your citizenship. We need your date of birth. We need your age. Yep, I need them separate. The cruise line wants your date of birth, even though they could figure out your age from your date of birth. They want your age listed. Are you male or female? And then Youngevity wants to know what shirt size you wear so that we can add those on. Then, of course, you need to add the second person, and then if you have third and fourth guests, then you add those on as well. All of that information needs to be identified before we can submit your information to the cruise line to get you a booking number. So the sooner you fill that out, the sooner you will get that information. We also tacked on a few questions at the end. Just for, we buy lots of logo wear. We ask your shirt size. Of course, you're going to get a branded shirt, probably a couple of them, because they're great to wear on the ship, get lots of recognition and questions asked. But, there's also, we've got, people that like the beach bag style or the backpack style. What type of hat do you like? Do you prefer baseball hats, visors, the cadet type hats? Of course, we can't customize it for you, but the reason for asking those questions is to get a feel for the majority on those. So please fill out that registration form as quickly as possible. Now, one of the last questions that's on there is letting you know we really need a photo. We have created a photo uploader that we're going to use for all of your recognition. This is great. We're just releasing it. And it says Heritage Makers, and the reason it's not your Heritage Maker Studio, if you even know what that is, it's just on our servers at the Heritage Makers office. It's a Youngevity tool. So what it is we're asking, it's your Youngevity ID number or email that's on your account, and then your Youngevity password. Now we're asking for several photos. One professional photo of you, maybe you and your as a couple, and you and your family. These are things that Youngevity can use in newsletters, in recognition, at events. We would love for the entire Youngevity nation to be able to go here, and we will start advertising it to everybody. We're testing it with the TAC system, but you can always go and change. You get a new photo, you go in, you log in, and you'll be able to manage what photo you want us to use. You got a new photo, take the other one out, put the new one in. You'll always have the most recent photo available, and that's the one that we will start using. So great system. We believe it will really help us with our recognition. I don't know how many of you saw the new newsletter. Fabulous, and we'd like to get it even better once we get photos and things like that we can really add to it. All right, let's get into, we are going to talk about how to request a roommate. On that questionnaire form, I actually don't have a slide, so I'll do it right now. That's been a question. So if you're traveling alone, there is a question on that registration form that says that, ask if you're traveling alone. You will receive a separate questionnaire. And the reason is I know, I used to do girls camp and have to get girls, room together, and they'd get so nervous about it. But even as adults, we're like, okay, I have to share a cabin with somebody I don't even know. And yeah, it's a tight quarters, one restroom. So we want to help you ease those fears and put you with somebody that you're compatible with. So we're going to send out a questionnaire. We're going to ask you some pretty, questions. Do you snore? Do you like activities? Are you a morning person? Are you a late night person? What are some of your interests, so that we can really group you with somebody that is your likes. If you put a morning person and a late person together, we're going to have some conflicts. So please fill out that. Rest assured that we will do everything we can to put you together. Now, there is an option. This is another question on there. I want my own cabin. I'm traveling alone, but I want my own cabin. The cruise line actually doesn't care how many are in the cabin. They're going to charge us for a minimum of 2. So if you would like to pay the guest second person price, you may have earned the points for it, or it may be a nominal fee. You can do that, and you don't have to bring a guest. You can have the cabin all to yourself, but they don't care. They still are going to charge full rate. The only thing we save is the gratuities on that. So we can save you a little bit. I think it's $70 for the gratuities, but that's pretty much it. So that answers that question. And on the rooming, so you will be able to not pick your roommate. If you know somebody who's a single, we do give you that option to pick your roommate on that original request form. We've had many do that. So if you want to let us know who you want, that will be great. Let's take a look. Do we get the booking number from Youngevity or the cruise? We will send it to you. Because we go through an agency on this, you can't even if you want to get your booking number, if it's something that you have to call them to do, they're going to refer you back to us to make that change. Anything that you can do online, like schedule spa appointments or entertainment or excursions, things like that, you can do that all online through once you have your booking number. But anything like that, you'll need to send to us. Now, again, another question about the roommate. I still need a roommate. We can't assign roommates until we actually know who everyone's going. So as of Friday, once we have Friday completed and we have everyone registered, you'll probably receive it within the next couple of days. If you've already registered, we'll start gathering that information. But we don't know what singles we have until we've hit our registration deadline. So the sooner you can get it filled out, the sooner, again, we can, and you don't we can get you hooked up with someone. But you don't have to wait until we hook you up with someone to fill out that registration form. Get us that information so that we can get you started in the process. Are you going to send out the questionnaire to singles to be matched? Yes, and I think I just covered that. How do we know what size medium larges are? You know what? There's 1,000 different shirts out there, and I'm not sure if we're doing jackets this year or not. But it's so hard. We are going to do, when we order in shirts, we order in some standard sizes. We pre-order them in. I try them on. I know what size I normally take, and so I can say this is, we always try to get a standard size shirt. Sometimes you hear they run small or it runs big. We try and get something that is standard. So when you list it, like on that form, it doesn't say male shirt, female shirt. We are not buying a unisex shirt. I hate those, but they will be fitted shirts. And we'll know, because the question before that is, are you male or female? So we'll know that you're requesting a female large or female medium or male extra large, whatever. We'll know what shirt that is. Now, the only question is if it is for a youth, then you need to identify that they want a youth size, because even some of our youth prefer the adult size shirt. So just make that note for us, and then we'll know. Okay, so we're going to go on, and then I will come back and answer some more questions. Pre-trip hotel, I've had so many requests about this. You know, unfortunately, when we sign a cruise contract, it's hard to know how many are flying in Friday, how many are going to take a red eye, who lives in the area, they're just driving, I don't need a hotel. When we sign a hotel contract, we are obligated to fill 80%, sometimes 85% of those rooms that we hold. So we don't hold a lot of rooms. I hold it for staff, and then I do get extra rooms. So we have a hotel room, I have our hotel selected, I have all of the staff rooms filled, and I have some extra. If you're needing a hotel room, I would suggest that you get online right now and try and book one of those. We did get a good rate because I booked it a long time ago. It does include breakfast, a hot breakfast, not just one of those continental breakfasts where you go make the waffles. We chose to have that added on, and then we will also be offering, there will be transportation there. They do transportation. The hotel offers transportation from the airport to the hotel 24 hours, so you're good on that. Their advertised rate right now is $229. So believe it or not, January is peak season for Florida because everywhere else is cold. We got snow on the ground in Utah by then, and so you want to get your room right away. If you can't get into this room at the Sheraton, I know that there's rooms right now, at least before the call, so I would get those rooms held. And if you call and the front desk tell you there's rooms available, but you have to, your block is sold out, just call them and ask them to add on. They will not give me any more rooms. It frustrates me when the hotels tell our distributors that, because I've already asked. I've already asked for additional rooms because of the amount of requests that we have in. So, be sure and check your hotels.com. We're going to try and come up with another search engine that you'll be able to book as well. So I would suggest getting your room right away. Travel arrangements. You're responsible for your own transportation to the ship and back to the airport. There's local listings. You have 3 airports really to choose from. Fort Lauderdale is the closest airport. Now, I've put down don't leave before 11 a.m. If you're adventurous and you travel light, The ship actually docks at 7. You can carry your own luggage off. You can be off the ship by 8 o'clock, and I've even I've taken an 8:50 flight home. Adventurous, if you don't make the flight, nobody's responsible but yourself, so it's a little bit risky. When you do that, you have to be ready to go at the gate, so you're getting up early and you're out of your cabin early. I don't suggest it. It's not a great way to end the trip, but also, it gets you home earlier. Sometimes you have this great vacation, Allison, you're getting home at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and that's kind of a bummer. The cruise line actually suggests that you don't leave Fort Lauderdale before noon, but 11 o'clock's great. You can get there no problem. Miami, I would say don't leave before 1, and then Palm Beach, same thing. So most hotels offer, whether you're staying at the Sheraton or you're staying at any other hotel, they'll offer a trip to the port for $8 to $10 per person. That same transportation group will sell you a return ticket back to the airport, and there's plenty of transportation back. So if you want to take care of it ahead of time, book it when you leave. When you go to the port, get another ticket. They give you this cute little sticker that you put on your shirt, and they guide you to their transportation, because you walk out the immigration door and they've got people right there with signs. There's also plenty of taxis. A taxi to Fort Lauderdale is about $15. Put 4 people in it. Well worth not waiting in line, just getting on your way. So plenty of options at the port, but if you do want to secure it ahead of time, I would suggest just getting it from the shuttle that is going over. Again, you can also book it right there as you get off. So say you don't need shuttle over, you're driving or whatever. If you're driving, you have to pay parking and things like that as well. Okay, frequently asked cruise questions. What documentation do I need or can I get away with on the ship? We always talk about a passport. I clipped this from the Royal Caribbean registration site. Here's everything that they will accept: passport, passport card, enhanced driver's license, birth certificate, naturalization certificate, birth abroad certificate, Nexus card, Century card, and Fast card. I have no idea what those last 3 are, but if you have one, you probably know what they are. The reason we suggest a passport is because if you get over to Belize and something happens at home, one of the kids get hurt, parent gets hurt, whatever, and you don't have a passport, you can't get out of Belize. Same thing with Cozumel, Mexico. So you're stuck. If something happens to you in Belize, you get taken back to the ship and you can't get out because you don't have a passport to leave the country. You're actually, your residence is the ship. And so you don't have to have one. What's the chances of that happening? I've never had it happen. I have seen it happen. I saw a lady crush her ankle getting off of the ship, and she needed to be, wanted to go home. So the likelihood of it happening, probably not likely. But so you can get on with your birth certificate if you don't have a passport, but always good to have. So I will recommend it. Can I do a name change for my guests? So I'm bringing a guest. I've got my spouse down, but who knows what their work schedule is going to let them off or not. They will let us change names up till December 1st. After that, they charge us, and it's usually about $25. So it's not huge, but you can do a name change last minute if the person you are taking, can't make it for some reason. So that's nice safety. So okay, dining options. Getting a lot of questions about that. There's food 24 hours a day on the ship. There's a Windjammer buffet. It's there for all meals. It's not open 24 hours, but it is there for all 3 meals and then some. And it has a wide variety. In the morning, they'll do cook-to-order omelets and all kinds of options in there. The dining room also has all 3 meals. We have an assigned table for dinner. And there is one formal night. They don't allow shorts. They don't require you to dress up every night, but they do not allow shorts or flip-flops in the dining room. It's for dinner, I'll say. For lunch, I've gone in shorts and such because you're coming from the pool. But we do have one formal night. We also will have our photographers there to be able to take pictures, so it's a great night to dress up, and we'll let you know when that is as we get closer. We have a little situation with our dining time. So normally they'll put our groups. My ideal situation is to have the group of course, eating all together, and that's part of the fun, because you get on the ship and everybody has different interests. I may be down in the solarium and you may be in the kids' pool, and so we don't actually connect. But at dinner time, it's an opportunity really to see everyone. And oops, spelling error, sorry. Funny you see those on the PowerPoint right as you're presenting them, not writing them. Sorry. Anyway, so because we have exceeded our contracts by an extra, I think, 100 cabins, they're unable to right now fit us in both in either or. So we have part in early and part in main, and I actually meant to do a pop-up questionnaire on here. We're going to run a note on Facebook, Hillary, if you can post that on Facebook. What would you prefer, early dining or main dining? You can see it's about 6 o'clock to 7:30 and about 8 p.m. to 9:30. And it's hard because the ports, if you remember the itinerary, we don't leave the port until 6. So you may be just getting back from the port at 5:30, and of course you want to jump in the shower and get the salt water off, or whatever, sand off, and then get ready for dinner. So I would love some feedback. We'll run a question on Facebook to get some feedback of what you'd like to do. I had the question asked that Royal Caribbean has my time dining. So let's say the group is assigned to main dining, and can I select my time dining? I don't want to. I don't want to eat with the group. I'm checking on that. I don't see why not, but I am checking on that, and it is fun to do. When we do our dining time, those from Heritage Makers, we've done some like round robin stuff where the executive team stays in one place and different people sit with them each night, and that's fun because how often do you get to eat dinner with Bill Andreoli, right? Or Steve and Michelle Wallach? You don't have that opportunity, but on the cruise, we kind of switch that up every night. So, when we're all in one group, well, you have an assigned table, yeah, there's some flexibility to, sit with some new friends each night and get to know new people. So, anyway, we like to confuse the wait staff a little bit. So, dining time's a little bit fun. You also have Johnny Rockets. That is open during specific times. It's open late, great hamburgers. French fries, onion rings, shakes, things like that. There is a nominal charge for it. I mean, like $3.50 for your meal, and so, but that is an extra charge. Chops is your fine dining steaks. You can also order just from the dining room. You can order an upgraded steak from Chops. I think it's $15 instead of the $30, and great steaks there. And it's same thing, all you can eat. You order off of the menu. But it is a steakhouse. Portofino's a little bit less. It's an Italian restaurant, great food. Again, you can get steaks there if you want, but there is that cover charge for those. Room service 24 hours. It is free. Most of the time you'll tip your steward or the person bringing it, but other than that, it's really free. Serrano's Pizza, main deck on deck 5, open late and great pizza. So there's also a couple other cafes. Questions about what is Youngevity doing on board, and I've covered some of this already. So we have a welcome reception at 2 o'clock. We've got a private karaoke session on that first night. We've got Youngevity training session. I should have put sessions because we actually have it held for 2 nights. And before I go on, all of these are optional. You can join in or you can not join in, right? It's your trip. It's your vacation. You get out of it what you want to get out of it. I can just tell you'll have a lot of fun. Even if we call it a meeting, it'll be a fun meeting. So just hanging out with everyone. Doc's Help Seminar won't be a traditional seminar. He can't have that long. But, some one-on-one with Doc is always fun. Dodgeball tournament, flow rider private sessions. We'll have group and individual pictures going on because we'll have our photographers there. So just, so much going on. I didn't even list it all. But the ship offers a lot of activities, but Youngevity, we try to make sure that every single day there's something going on that you can be a part of. So if you're coming as a single and you're thinking, who am I going to hang out with? What am I going to do? There's always something going on, whether it's something in the card room or a special 1-hour, mineral makeup class or something going on all of the time that you can go and hang out with your Youngevity friends. So, okay, what does my cruise include? The best part about cruises and the thing I love most is pretty much almost everything. They're all inclusive. So the price that you're paying includes your cruise ticket, your port charges, taxes, gratuities, your food, most of your drinks. We'll go into that in just a minute. It's just glass water, iced tea, lemonade. Those are all free of charge. Entertainment, daily cabin service, the sun, the lounge chairs, the towels, the beach towels. So you don't have to bring a towel, and so much more is included. I couldn't name it all. What doesn't it include? Not much. So bottled water you have to purchase, and it's quite pricey. Now I usually take a case. So when I get to Fort Lauderdale, I run down to whatever store's closest, grab a case of water, stick my label on it for my cabin, and they send it right to my cabin. So that's always great. They don't pay for soft drinks, specialty drinks, alcoholic beverages, specialty restaurants, purchases at the store, extra activities such as spa treatments. You can go to the cupcake shop and learn how to do cupcake decorating. You can send your kids to the character breakfast if they want to go with DreamWorks breakfast. All of those are extra, including excursions, off-ship expenses, and transportation to and from the port. So pretty much everything. You can go and not have to pay anything if you don't want to. You've paid for everything. You get there, you get on the ship, and you are done. You do need to put up a credit card or some type of payment in case you do charge. They do require that, and we'll get into that as we get closer. What can I bring with me? There's no weight limit on luggage. So as I mentioned, I just have to get to Fort Lauderdale with all of the airline rules. But once I get to Fort Lauderdale, like I said, I usually go to a store. I will bring my bottled water. When I used to be a Diet Pepsi drinker a couple years ago, I would bring my Diet Pepsi in bottles and stick that in my luggage. I bring snacks so that when I go off the ship, I've got some granola, I've got whatever snacks I want. You can bring your nutritionals. This is funny. I typed that in for you because I just shared this with somebody else. I bring a multi-plug outlet. So yes, there are plugs in your room, but they're limited. And I've got an iPhone, my husband's got an iPhone, he's got an iPad, I've got my computer, I've got my hairdryer, I've got my flat iron. So I bring this cute little cube that gives me an extra 4 plugs. So you can bring things like that on the ship. What you can't bring are weapons, real or toy. And yes, we've had one of our distributors, because we do a costume party, and they brought a toy sword, got taken off the ship and searched their luggage and pulled out their toy sword. No weapons. And you can't bring irons. So if you bring an iron, like one of those little travel irons, you can't do that. They'll take it. They'll confiscate it, and they get a large number of them. So you can bring like a steamer, but also the shower works great. Turn on your shower, shut the door, and turn the steamer, turn the shower on hot, and that works great. Okay, where to go with questions? General questions, again, that TAC Longevity Facebook page. Review the TAC detail flyers. Most of the questions that I get are on the back of that flyer. Again, you can get the flyer. Point requirements are on the front. All the details are on the back. Well, those are questions about paying for the trip or requesting the trip. So if you've already done that, then there's nothing on there for you. So your questions are more about going and transportation and stuff. Or you can email Hillary Dolder at youngevity.com, hdolder@youngevity.com. And there are only 88 days until we board that ship. Can you believe that? 88 days. That is crazy. Less than 3 months away. So pretty excited about that. Okay, let me go through these questions real quick. So you're welcome to stay on if you'd like, or you can jump off. Booking numbers. Again, when you fill out that registration form, and we will submit those weekly. So if you fill it out on Friday, we'll submit them on Mondays, and we'll get new numbers back. Probably it takes them a couple days, by Wednesday or so, and we'll get those out the following Friday. So as soon as you fill that out, that's great. See, uploading the photo, what name and password you do. Oh, you can't get it to work. I will check that. So the photo uploader works off of your Longevity ID number or the email that is associated with your Longevity account and your password. If that is not working, as soon as we hang up, I will go over to the dev department and find out what's up. Try back a little later tonight. You can drive to the ship and park. Yes, parking is a little bit expensive at the port, but you can look up Port Everglades. They have their own website, and it gives pricing there. What is the name of the ship? It is the Liberty of the Seas. Love the Liberty. Room service charge after midnight. Thank you, one of our frequent cruisers, Wendy Clifton. I didn't know that there was a service charge after midnight. So, you know, one of the fun things that we try to do is book our single travelers together side by side, especially when they've requested a balcony, because you can always ask. There's like a door between balconies, and you can ask to have that opened, and they have a lot of fun ordering room service and having their own private deck parties. So that's a lot of fun. That's how come she knew that there was a service fee after midnight. Food for those who are gluten-free. Sorry, I think I put that on there, but I typed it, but I didn't actually say it. Plenty of gluten-free options in the Windjammer, in the dining room. There are plenty. So when you fill out that form, that registration form, please do not include that you're gluten-free, because the ship accommodates that. Oh, that's where I typed it on that form. So you don't need to note that. You'll have plenty of choices available for you on the ship. What does the invitation qualification mean? So it means that you have earned enough points, 3,000 points, to receive an invitation. And I think that that's what you're talking about. If it's something else, please retype it and I'll come back and address it. I'm on, they are showing Royal Caribbean Suite available now. Let's see, I'm on Royal Caribbean now, and they show the Royal Suite available. That's interesting because generally they don't put suites on the Royal Caribbean site. They always have to call for those. But I will take down your name and before I delete this one. And if you would like an upgrade, I've noted that, and I will get in touch with you. Okay. Oh, grant. Yes, they do have grants available, and that is available. I may have released our last one, but I'll check on that for you. I also bring a multi-plug. Yep. Yes, they will take your pocket knife too. No knife. That is a weapon. Can we bring flat iron? Yes, you can. You are welcome. Yes, I do check a case of water on there. So I take the whole case. It's all bound up just from the store, put my label on top of it, and send it to my room. Wendy, you've asked this twice. What are the TAC shirts like? You have to understand, in Heritage Makers, we went all out on TAC shirts. It was a big deal. And I don't have any details for you on that at this time. So as we get closer, we'll have more information. And if it's something we can share, we will. Need more information on the costume party and what to wear? Absolutely. I put that in there, and I actually meant to take out the word costume, as I have to get approval for that. We always did it. You know, it's one of those things that some of the distributors would complain about, and then you get there and you have so much stinking fun and seeing the costumes. The ships love us. The kids love us, you know, when you come in costume. So I'm planning on a costume party. We actually take the site inspection next week, and so I'll be walking Bill through the ship, what we're going to do. It's something I have to understand how the ship works and what time they run events so that we don't interfere with them, what time venues are open, how to get on and off the ship at each port, things like that. So costume party, TBA. It's coming. We'll have a theme to you, and we will, again, just so much fun, and love having those. Let's see if I'm just waiting now. Yep, if you're paid in full, then Hillary will be sending those out. We'll get another round out today. So if, you know what, we'll just, Hillary, if everyone, send it out again to everyone who is paid. If you've already paid, let's make a note in that if you've already paid to disregard the email. I mean, if you've already filled out the form, disregard. Anyway, so let's get that out today in case people haven't gotten it. Costume party again. Let's see. When we arrive on the day of the cruise at the airport, is there a shuttle that takes us there? So if you arrive on Saturday, best bet is to take a taxi. The cruise line does sell transfers. I think they're about $15, $20. Taxi is going to get you there faster for the same or less money, and especially if you can, you know, double up with someone. So I was just told that you can check two bottles of wine as well. So I mentioned soft drinks and water, But if you want to bring your own wine for your cabin, you can do that, up to 2 bottles. Is there Wi-Fi on the ship? That's a great question. I should have had that. Yes, there is Wi-Fi on the ship, and it comes at a price. I would not call it a nominal price, and it's also not a high-speed line. So I've got it down pat. I log on. Takes a few minutes to log on. I download my emails. I log off. I answer my emails, and then I log back on and push send, and they all send. So there are ways to utilize it and get the most out of your internet. But yes, they do have it, and they also have, if you don't want to bring your laptop, they have an internet cafe there with computers there that you can go on. There are some free sites on there, but nothing like no email or things like that, so you can get that. What is the dress code for formal? Suit is great. Again, it is, you know, the cruise lines used to be very particular about the dining, at least evening dining, and they've lightened up a lot. So it used to be recommended tux, which you actually can rent on the ship. You don't have to rent it ahead of time or bring one on. So if you want to get a tux, you can do that. And again, that's one of the things you just pre-order. But a suit is great. So ladies, a dress is great. Also a nice pantsuit if you want to do that. Dressing up for formal will be up to you. We will take some group pictures and formal pictures. So again, that will be up to you. A lot of, just from past incentive trips, we have long formal gowns and tuxes to, you know, a simple pantsuit or suit and dress pants and a shirt, you know, so that there's a variety. What is the charge for the Longevity Excursion in Belize? That's actually on that registration form is where you'll be able to select. Now, when you select that on that registration form, that's for information, so I can get back to you. You're not actually reserving it. I just need to know how many are interested. It will run $55. You can actually go on their site, butsup.com, and they charge $50. I add the extra $5 because we take care of the gratuities for the tour guides, and so that they're not hitting you up individually for that. We just include it with it. So we add an extra $5. You'll see off of booking it straight. So we don't make any money. They organize it. We just get a bus altogether. So $55 for cave tubing, $60 for ATV, $60 for zip line, $80 if you want to do ATV and cave, $80 for zip line and cave, or $80 for zip line and ATV. So go ahead and register for that if you are interested, and we'll get you more information. I know, right? It would be great if we had the theme chosen for the TAC. Okay, for the TAC because of holiday or Halloween clearances. All right, I'll see if I can, excuse me, twist Bill's arm and get that approval, and we'll get that out on the TAC Longevity Facebook page. When will we know the cost? Oh, just announced that one. Let's see, I can't remember if I paid for inside or balcony. How would I find out? Email hdolder@longevity.com and she will tell you. Can my roommate and I fill out the information forms separately, or must we do it together? Separate is fine. If it's a husband using one account and a wife using one account, we've made accommodations on the registration form to facilitate that. But if you just have a friend and you're using your account and they're using theirs and you just want a room together, fill them out separately. We'll put you together. We already have you on a list, I'm sure. If we don't, make sure that you note that in there. Can you list the choices available for excursions? Again, I think I just did, and then you'll have them when you fill that out. Do we do that from the back office or from the ship website? Back office. Everything is through longevity.com. So payments, go to your Longevity back office, go to place an order, do your quick ad, and just type in that TAC 2015 pay, and that will take care of that. Or call customer service, tell them you need to make a tax payment. They will not know how much you need to pay. That's been a confusion of, I get notes, customer service couldn't tell me how much to pay. They don't have a master list anywhere, so you know how much you need to pay. You just need to say, I need to make a tax payment of $500, and they'll put it in for you. Is that $500 per person? That is if you have a balcony or higher. It's $100 for anyone with an inside or a promenade. And again, that balance due is November 15th for accounts paid in full. Is the address of the port in our back office, or we can catch a cab? You can catch a cab on that arrival day, and I assure you, a couple weeks before, you are going to get a very informative, we call it our TAC book, and it will have all kinds of information about who's going, what the activities are, how to get there, how to get home, all kinds of information. So don't really need to worry about that other than booking your hotel if you need one. Outside balcony is outside balcony is only $250 per person. So that is a great savings from what you have listed there. My husband signed up for hers now we have family situation emergency. Yep, you can actually make that change. And if you've already paid for it, which it looks like you might be able to do, we can do, and I didn't do a refund on there. We can actually do your refund through October 31st, so you need to get that in now. After that, the cruise line starts charging us. So we have I think you can get up to a 50%, after October 31st, you can get up to a 25% cancellation through, I think, November 15th, and a 50% up to through December 1st. So after that, then there's absolutely no refunds on that. If your husband is your roommate and you're using two different accounts to pay for the incentive, please pay them by the account number. Otherwise, it's too difficult. Yes, we can do it. It causes problems in the mathematical, Excel doesn't understand that there's another account number. So we would really appreciate that you make the payment for the account that needs to be paid, that you're using the points on. Will you send it? Yes, on those excursions. Once you fill out the registration form, it is there, and we will send it out as it gets closer, and we require that. Probably mid-November, you'll receive an option to pay for your excursion, and you'll do it the same way as you're making your payments right now. We will post the excursions on the Facebook page. Hillary, can you make sure we get that up as well? Awesome, thank you. Okay, I will save this one and contact you directly. Let's see. You don't see the request. I didn't see. Okay, so if you had already filled out, so Hillary sent out the request form last week. I received the document from the cruise line yesterday, and I made updates to that form. And I threw the excursion on there again. So when Hillary sends it out again, if you want to refill it out, you can. Or just go to the link that she sent you originally, and you will see the excursions and a few other questions on there. If you don't want to fill it out, we can manually make those adjustments. So what kind of information are we looking for the bio, for the registration form? That is great, thank you. So in the past, what we've done, now we've got a very large group going, so I actually don't know how much information we'll be able to give you, because that booklet I talked about could be 100 pages. But what we're looking for is, if you wanted to read this and you wanted to know something about somebody else that was going, so in the past I would say, my name is Patty Gardner, my husband is Jeff Gardner, we're traveling together. Patty loves to, hang out with the grandkids. Or Patty has 4 children and 4 grandchildren, and she loves playing out with the grandkids, and Jeff is a truck driver. So something as simple as that, and it's kind of a get to know you. So somebody else is looking for that information. You don't need to put your rank. We'll put that in there for you. We'll group everybody in that way. But just a little bit. That's why I said, please don't cut and paste your whole bio. And just give us 3 to 4 sentences, as simple as who you are or who's coming. So, somebody else can say, oh, you're a plumber. I'm a plumber too, and we can search you out. We have a conversation, right? So just kind of something to help you guys get to know each other. Yes, you have not received, we have not sent out anything about the ship or room information yet. So. Okay, let's see. How do I request a roommate? We talked about that. There's a couple private questions. If I haven't answered your question, I still left them on here, and we'll contact you after. It's not really for everybody. Questions. We have to have passport. Is there excursions. How do we pay? I think we've gone over the pay a lot. Okay, I think that we've gone through that unless you have a last minute question and I haven't answered. So here's one that just came in. If you're bringing a guest other than a spouse, do you want their bio? So let's say you're using one count and you're bringing your spouse, I would upload a picture of the two of you and a little bio together. If you're bringing a friend, we can't accommodate you in a bio and a friend in a bio. If you want to mention it, I personally would put your picture and then just mention in traveling with so-and-so in there, and we would actually put that name in there. If you can get a picture of the two of you together, then that's great. Upload that picture and we will use that picture. But really the bio is intended for the distributor, and so if you can accommodate the other, then we would do that. All right, I think that is it. We are going to, I'm going to go ahead and close up the call. There's still questions. I'll leave the go-to meeting section up, so if you have some additional questions, I can just type the responses on there. So go ahead and continue to type those in. But I'm going to go ahead and close this meeting. Thank you so much. We will hold another call as we get closer. So in December, as payments are all done, and it's time to register for excursions, to make sure you're registered online, because then I'm going to start pestering you to go on to Royal Caribbean and fill out their documents, because I get notified if you don't fill them out, and all that information, all the fun stuff. And I will get the costume party information. Be sure to like the Longevity TAC Dream Vacation page. You will get lots of information there. Even if you don't like Facebook, please like that one, because it's a great way to get answers, to get excited, to post pictures, to get information about the incentives. So thanks everyone for being on the call, and we will get these. It takes a little bit to download them and get them posted, but we will get them up right away. So thanks again for being on the call. I'll continue to stay on and answer any questions that you might have, and we will see you soon. Don't forget about CEO School in Miami. If you haven't registered for that, November 14th, 15th, so much fun. We are actually coming off of the site inspection and going right to Miami, so we'll have lots of fun stuff to share for you. You know, watch the Facebook page during that site inspection. You know, we've been known in the past to post pictures and ask some pop questions and give away some prizes. I forgot to mention that, so be sure to be part of that and get excited about the upcoming trip. So thanks to everyone. We appreciate you being on and taking the time. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.